Today on Florida Sportsman Best Boat. If you're looking for a fast, stylish, and fully equipped inshore boat designed with plenty of space for multiple anglers, we'll be taking a look at the Skeeter SX230. A bay boat with an overall length of 23 feet 6 inches, a beam of 8 feet 2 inches, and max horsepower rating of 250. Standout features on the Skeeter SX230. Lockable rod storage provides a dry and secure place to store multiple rods along with plenty of gear and tackle, keeping the deck clean and uncluttered. Whether fishing the beaches or the backcountry canals, a trolling motor will keep you in the action all day so nobody misses a bite. When making a long run to the fishing hole, comfortable helm seating provides a safe and dry place to ride, especially in rough water. In search of a boat that easily converts from a family cruiser to an offshore fishing machine? If so, we'll be taking a look at the Blue Wave 2800 Pure Hybrid. A bay boat with an overall length of 27 feet 10 inches, a beam of 9 feet 2 inches, and max horsepower rating of 557. Standout features on the Blue Wave 2800 Pure Hybrid. When traveling with multiple guests, insulated storage boxes provide plenty of space for gear, tackle, and beverages, keeping the deck uncluttered for when the bite gets hot. A large shade top designed with all the amenities is a great place for anglers to get out of the sun when spending a long day on the water. For live bait anglers, multiple live wells, both fore and aft, will hold hundreds of baits and keep them healthy all day long. Do you require a boat designed for hardcore offshore fishing that can accommodate the whole family? If so, we'll be taking a look at the Cape Horn 32XS. A center console with an overall length of 31 feet 10 inches, a beam of 9 feet 1 inch, and max horsepower rating of 700. Standout features on the Cape Horn 32. When running long distances with the family, the foam-filled bulletproof hull design provides excellent sea kindliness in all conditions, keeping everyone on board dry and comfortable. If you're traveling with multiple guests, a maximum storage capacity provides large spaces to store gear, tackle, and big fish, keeping the deck uncluttered and ready for action. The versatile cockpit layout easily transitions from an open fishing area fit for multiple anglers to a comfortable lounge area for the family when taking a cruise. Join our hosts George Labonte and Rick Riles as they conduct walkthroughs and review key features, all to help you decide if this is the best boat for you.
Welcome to another edition of Florida Sportsman Best Boat. I'm Captain Rick Riles.
And I'm Florida Sportsman Boating Editor George Labonte.
Buddy, we had a trio of home runs this week, didn't we?
Three good ones.
Talk about fun boats. Today we get to play with the Skeeter SX230, all right, the Blue Wave 2800 Pure Hybrid, and how cool was the Cape Horn 32XS?
Let's start out with the Skeeter SX230, okay? We get a lot of bay boats on the show, and you know, the first thing that comes to mind for me sometimes is another bay boat. You know, how different can it be? You had a very interesting take on that.
Boy, I tell you what, I was really blown away by that boat. The way they tweaked it, George. They took the same square footage, but took the tweaking of a 23-foot bay boat to a whole new level.
They sure did. Now, the Blue Wave 2800 Pure Hybrid, that's not a stranger to us. We saw that boat last year. Now, this is a very cool idea. It's a really big bay boat that's a good offshore boat. Actually, one of the things we learned about this boat this year that we weren't aware of last year is how economical it was. You're going to be excited to see the numbers on that boat.
Incredible performance, incredible fuel numbers. How about that 32 Cape Horn? You know, generally speaking, you're safe in an offshore boat, but how about a 32-footer with a 500-mile range that is virtually bulletproof?
And I was really impressed with how solid the boat was. I mean, the way they build that grid for their stringer and bulkhead system, bonding it together, injecting the whole boat with foam, I mean, that boat is a tough boat.
We got three today, and all three of them stand out for entirely different reasons. They're great boats. Let's get a look at them.
When we come back, hosts George Labonte and Rick Riles take a closer look at a boat built for serious inshore fishing, the Skeeter SX230. This segment brought to you by Suzuki Marine, the ultimate four-stroke outboard. Welcome back to Florida Sportsman Best Boat. Join our hosts George Labonte and Rick Riles as they take a closer look at the Skeeter SX230. Representing the 17 to 24 foot class of the bay boat category, the Skeeter SX230 has an overall length of 23 feet 6 inches, a beam of 8 feet 2 inches, and a max horsepower rating of 250. Designed with shallow water anglers in mind, she has a draft of 10 inches, a dry weight of 2,875 pounds, and a fuel capacity of 59 gallons. Now, let's hear more from our hosts, George Labonte and Rick Riles.
The boat we're standing on today, Rick, Skeeter's SX230, is a straight up bay boat.
The 23-foot footprint works perfectly for a bay boat, still gets very, very shallow, can handle the choppy water. Let's perfect the 23 before we start thinking 26, towers, outriggers, whole 9 yards.
Exactly. They're sticking to the original intention of the boat, okay? This boat will float in 10 inches of water. You can fish in shallow water. We were in very skinny water in this boat today. There's a bunch of fishing-oriented features on this boat. Why don't we take a look at some of them?
George, you don't have to go far. The first bay boat I ever stepped on, I stepped back and kept right on going. They've got this recessed deck right where it needs to be.
This is thinking about people that want to fish. This is a big deck, very comfortable to walk around on, and you know, like you said, you're not going to walk off the edge of it if there are 3 people on the boat.
Nope, and you got that step up, which I can't live without, we all know.
Each of these boxes that we're standing on are lined with a roto-molded plastic liner. I mean, you're familiar with the roto-molded
Sure,
plastic,
it's what
yeah.
they make high-performance coolers.
Yeah, exactly. It's very durable there. It's a smart idea.
You've got lockable rod storage on one side, you've got a kill box on the other. It's designed to stay on the trailer with your rods in the boxes and not have to worry about it.
Yeah, nice insulated fish box. You've got a really big storage compartment here. There's your anchor locker, of course, and another wet storage compartment on the deck right there. There's tons of room to put a lot of fishing gear in this boat.
Let me tell you something else that led to the evolution of bay boats. Okay, the increase in technology for trolling motors. You realize how much more powerful they are than they ever were before? The features like spot lock and things like that. Of course you're going to have one on your Skeeter. Not only so you can work along a bank, but if you do take that trip off the beach, you pull up on a little wreck with bait on it, just push the button, baby.
I want to point out you've got a live well under the seat right here, which is also insulated and doubles as a drink cooler. There's access in the backrest there to get into the forward part of the console, so you can reach into the console from the front or from the back. Let's move back here and take a look at what's going on underneath this shade top. All right, T-tops. Listen, if this boat didn't have one other thing on it, the fact that it's got shade over me right now, it's a winner. I love it.
Hey, we talked about how serious this fishing boat is, and it certainly is, but nothing wrong with plush seating. This one certainly got it.
Yeah, you know, I was talking about the comfort features like these padded seats and backrests and put your feet up and stuff. You know, there's no reason why you can't be comfortable when you're going to and from the grounds, and this seating certainly accomplishes that task nicely. You know what, but this is a must-have.
Rod storage behind the T-top. How many rods can you put there that you would have no other place for without a T-top?
Absolutely. 6 extra ones there and on the console, 4 and 4 on either side. Put them right through the top. You know, if you've got a bunch of gear to carry out there, you can get it out of the way on this design. Okay, I said there was a couple of live wells. I lied. There's 3. As I said, in the front we got a 15-gallon live well under the seat and this 45. They also put a 30-gallon release well right here in the center seat. Between this 45, this 30, and that 15, I think you're pretty covered on this boat.
But George, back to the creature comforts a little bit. Now this is perfect for casting off of. I've got 2 little grandsons who want to be with me all the time when I'm on the water. These 2 flip-up seats, you flip them up, it's the safest place for them to ride, that's where they're going to be.
Underneath them, more storage. You got a storage tray underneath there. You've also got 2 really nice, really roomy dry storage compartments in each corner there, 1 in each corner.
If you're looking for a boat that has the hardcore bay boat heritage fishing features you want, but just the right amount of comfort to make the trip nice, the Skeeter SX230 is one you need to see.
When we return, hosts George Labonte and Rick Riles step aboard a versatile bay boat designed for inshore and offshore fishing, the Blue Wave 2800 Pure Hybrid. This segment brought to you by Manta Racks. Take your boards.
Sometimes the best fishing lies in places that are difficult to access. Shallow water, no motor zones, motor restrictions, and rough water may stand between you and the best fishing. Mantarax securely transports your paddle boards to these locations without damaging the boat or the SUP. Now, there's no place for fish to hide. Mantarax. Go further.
Welcome back to Florida Sportsman Best Boat. Join our hosts George Labonte and Rick Riles as they discuss the Blue Wave 2800 Pure Hybrid. Representing the 25 to 28 foot class in the bay boat category, the Blue Wave 2800 Pure Hybrid has an overall length of 27 feet 10 inches, a beam of 9 feet 2 inches, and a max horsepower rating of 557. Built for fishing almost anywhere you desire, she has a draft of 17 inches, a dead rise of 18 degrees, a dry weight of 3,650 pounds, and a fuel capacity of 94 gallons. Now, let's hear more from our hosts, George Labonte and Rick Riles.
Captain Labonte, let me tell you something. One of the fun parts about our job is following boats, okay? Boats that we've introduced to the market and then see how they do. If you'll remember, a year ago right now, we were standing on what we considered then a groundbreaking new boat.
You're 100% right. And you know what? This boat, we're standing incidentally on the 2800 Pure Hybrid by Blue Wave. You know, this is primarily an offshore boat, but a boat that'll back into an inshore fishery. For example, today, we had this boat out for a couple of hours in the morning. We caught a sailfish offshore in the morning. An hour later, we're at the rock pile in front of the jetties there and jump off a tarpon.
And something that we learned today, a great boat to run on single power.
Listen, buddy, I loved this boat last year. I love it even more right now. There's so many cool things to look at on the boat. Why don't we start right up here? Buddy, let's talk a little bit about this configuration up here. You know, a couple of people have mentioned to me about having this bay boat raised deck thing for an offshore boat. For starters, probably got the highest tow kick that I've seen on a bay boat like this as far as security keeping you in the boat, all right? You can easily fish up here offshore. I mean, we did it today and it was flat calm, but on a choppy day, you can absolutely make your way around on the bow here securely. And it's not just the tow kick. Blue Wave uses this grip right here. They call it Wave Grip, and it is one of the best non-skid surfaces I've ever seen on a boat. All of the space here is insulated. It starts in the front there. You've got a 10-gallon pitch well that's pressurized, which comes in really handy.
Well, it is, and of course you've got rod racks on each side here, which are perfect when you're traveling especially. You have no need to leave the rods out in plain sight.
Also insulated boxes. There's a 200-quart fish box right here. There's a 500-quart fish box under my feet right here, and a 36-quart drink box in the step. You're on an elevated platform there, and this boat is rigged up like bay boat style, you know, rigged up with this high platform and the trolling motor.
George, it is a deadly weapon, okay? Pull up on a wreck. You want to be a little bit on the left-hand side of the wreck. You want to be right over the pilot house of the old tanker. Just push the button right there. You lock it right down.
Let's move back to the middle.
Something you never hear is a guy talking about how he went from an 8-foot beam to a 9-foot beam. But I'm going to tell you something, Cap. You gain a lot more room inside your boat by going wider than you do by adding a foot or two longer.
You're exactly right. 9 foot 2 inches the beam on this boat here enables you to put a bigger console in here, not eat up all that room, and that console allows you a lot of flexibility for storage. Also, you know, your batteries that are in there, access to the back of this panel's in there, just a really good option. This top really speaks to me. I mean, there's so much more going on than meets the eye on this hard top. I mean, there's an electronics box here, another storage box back here, speaker boxes, lights, you got LEDs, you got switches around here, 7 rod holders across the back. I mean, every time you turn around, there's one more thing to notice about this and one more thing to love about it. Let's move back into the cockpit. All right, there's your work of art right there, man.
Man, it's an aquarium. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I love, you know, I'm a huge fan of the clear fronts on there. A huge 50-gallon live well right here. And, you know, this thing holds so much bait. We've had it full of herring all day, and it's holding them beautifully. Under my feet, under your feet, 2 more 27-gallon live wells right there. Over 100 gallons of capacity on this boat. I love live bait fishing, you know it. I can't believe how much I like this.
And of course you're going to have a stern seat back here. Everybody knows that this flip-up transom seat, this is a great riding boat. That's the most comfortable place to sit.
It is. It's very comfortable. Stows out of the way, turns us into a nice big roomy casting platform. It's not just a seat though, Rick. There's another great big storage area underneath the seat as well.
And that takes us to the back, George. You got to have a power pole on a boat if you're going to fish in shallow water, which you're certainly going to do in this boat.
Yeah, it's working well for us right here where we're sitting. Now, we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about this for a second. The combination of this boat design and that motor right there, I can't imagine getting better numbers in any boat.
This boat performs best on a single motor, but let's face it, takes a lot of motor to propel a 28-foot boat.
This contra-rotating, two-prop motor, you've seen it. They introduced it last year, Suzuki's 350. It's a cool design, and for a couple of different reasons. One of the things is the advantage of this two-prop system is you've heard of rotational flow, okay? The rotational flow, that thrust coming out of your motor on a single prop sends part of the thrust of the water straight back. Part of it goes out to the sides, which is going to waste, right?
Right.
Okay. Two props, one in front of the other, the rear prop actually picks up a bunch of that wasted flow and converts that to energy. It's super efficient, 4 miles to the gallon at 30, okay? At 40, 3.4 miles. At 45, 2.86 miles. At 50, 2.6 miles to the gallon. And at 57 miles an hour at wide open throttle, 2 miles to the gallon. That's a great combination. This motor's pushing this boat better than they ever imagined. It's working out great for them.
If you're going to consider a boat that you want to blue water fish, you want to catch a sailfish like we did this morning, you're crazy if you don't look at the Blue Wave Pure Hybrid 2800.
When we come back, hosts George Labonte and Rick Riles check out a boat designed for the serious offshore angler looking for an unsinkable battle wagon, the Cape Horn 32 XS.
This segment brought to you by Infinity by Harman. It's all about the music.
Hey Dad, can we do that again tomorrow?
Don't forget your sunscreen.
Welcome back to Florida Sportsman Best Boat. Join our hosts Rick Riles and George Labonte as they check out the Cape Horn 32 XS. Representing the 31 to 53 foot class in the center console category, the Cape Horn 32 XS has an overall length of 31 feet 10 inches, a beam of 9 feet 1 inch, and a max horsepower rating of 700. Designed for a smooth and dry ride, no matter the conditions, she has a draft of 22 inches, a dead rise of 23 degrees, a dry weight of 5,400 pounds, and a fuel capacity of 273 gallons. Now, let's hear more from our hosts, George Labonte and Rick Riles.
This is a Cape Horn 32 XS. Believe it or not, Rick, my first time ever on a Cape Horn today. Really impressed with this boat.
I had no reason not to be impressed with this boat.
The bottom of this boat is laid up over 1 inch thick, and that's 45-degree biax glass laid up in layers to, over 1 inch thick. The thing is bulletproof. You probably couldn't shoot a high-powered rifle through the side of it.
When a boat comes off a wave, I want it to land two ways. I want it to land stern first, and I want it to pound into the wave, and I want it to land quiet. This one is quiet, and it lands like it should.
Listen, it goes way beyond the ride of the boat and the construction of the boat. There's a lot of features here to look at. Why don't we get started right now?
Hey, George.
Hey, Rick.
How many times have we reached under seat cushions to find the things to open the hatches with? Thank you, Cape Horn. Okay, the hatches are right here. The seats are cut out. It's perfect.
This one's more family friendly. We've got all wraparound seating right here with the nice cushions and a bunch more storage because of it.
Well, needless to say, there's great storage under all three seats, too. What a great place to put two storage compartments. Every other boat we see just about, this is wasted space. Here they've got storage on each side. That's where you put your bell lines.
Yeah, why not use it, okay? And then the anchor locker, which is ironically, there's 350 feet of anchor line in there. It looks like a dock line sitting in the bottom of this anchor box. It's huge. This one also has the windlass, which is really handy. Underneath us, a 700 quart fish box. It's actually encased in foam. There's a pen board in there that's removable that you could throw a couple of 50-pound bags in, would fill that up. It would certainly keep the entire box really cool. Another smaller insulated box there. You got a box in the front seat there, which is a great drink box right there. Cool features too about the seating here. We've got these flip out backrests. Very cool design, a mechanical design. Pop that out if the ladies want to sit out here and get a little suntan. Perfect for that. I want to address, we got a very cool hard top here. Really slick design, beautiful polished finish here, but more going on than meets the eye here. This has got a very cool, kind of like a wind spoiler effect. Very unique design. I like it.
I like the top. Let's go get under it and get some shade.
Sounds good. No matter how many times I get in the shade, it never gets it never gets old, man. I love it under here. Let's talk about this hardtop, man. Beyond the airfoil effect there, this is a really, really manly top.
It's industrial strength.
You know, comfortable seating. I love these seats. You saw me riding. I spent most of the time running offshore in the seat. Super comfortable, even at high speed. Getting out of the water, felt great here. This display panel, I mean, you don't need any more real estate than that. You can put a couple of giant MFDs on there, all your instrumentation, everything. You've got a full height windshield here. Doesn't let any of the wind through or the water through if it's raining and you're running in rough weather. You know, I mean, everything about this thing is really well thought out. Okay, on my side here, we've got a door to get down inside. Probably about 6 feet of headroom in there with a head. If you're not using it for that, tons of storage also. What else do you need?
I'll tell you what else I need. I need to step to the back where the magic happens. There's some serious fishing going on back here.
Always dragging me back into the sun. What's going on?
That's where we fish, isn't it?
Yeah, of course.
What a great place to fish back here. You know, I love mezzanine seating. This is a lot of room for a 32-foot boat.
It is a lot of room, and that's not just seats, Rick. That's a 62-gallon live well. That's giant, okay? I mean, I can't think of any instance where you need more than 62 gallons of live well. You got it right there, but if there is one, you got another 20-gallon live well right here too. You know, this is a really nice, open, fishable design. You know, the standard 360 walk-around boats, I mean, you might think they all look the same, but this one's very comfortable to fish out of for sure.
You can drop down the back seating, set people up front. It can serve as a cruise boat just that fast.
Yeah, okay, a couple more compartments we need to address here. You've got a lift-out liner right here underneath this hatch. You've got access into your bilge through these two hatches, center deck. This one's got a lift-out box that you can use for storage, put stuff in there. If you need to get to your pumps and stuff, pops right out, you're in the bilge right there, okay? Access to your batteries behind you, lift-out box, you can make that, it makes a perfect trash can. Bottles and cans go in there. Lift it out, your batteries are right there. Very clever design.
If you want to feel safe anywhere offshore, in almost any sea conditions, but it needs to be a manageable package. You need to power it with twin engines. You need to have it somewhat affordable. You need to be able to run it by yourself with maybe one other buddy. You have got to see the Cape Horn 32 XS.
Hey, if you want any more information about the boats you've seen this week or any boats you see on Best Boat, go to floridasportsman.com.
Or we'll see you on next week's episode of Florida Sportsman Best Boat.
When filming for Florida Sportsman Best Boat, the cast and crew docked and dined at Pirates Cove Marina in Stuart, Florida. Family owned and operated, featuring 50 renovated rooms with an outstanding restaurant and a full-service 50-slip marina.